with relation to communicating with respects to mineral and nutritional value in relation to recycling your own emotions with conscious sleep. One has come to the realization of sharing one's experiences with recycling one's own emotions with conscious sleep, conscious dreaming, and with practicing meditation, Sahaja Yoga, integrating the mineral and nutritional value, viewing individuals in society having been using animals for their own nutritional value and not taking note of their blocking from their own actions, from their mineral and nutritional lack of value, with understanding or standing what they're behaving with. With relation to lucid dreaming, having a picture here of an individual floating in the sky, showing that individuals in specific countries had the ability to fly from lucid conscious dreaming. In one's experience from conscious sleep, conscious dreaming, one's experienced one's being to be able to see oneself floating from one's body into various aspects of oneself. Through viewing oneself floating from one's body, having the ability to see the first person in me floating, seeing the second person in me floating, and seeing the third person in me floating, seeing the fourth person in me floating, in the recognition of seeing these individual characters in me, having the ability to see that I'm more than just a one person. There's a third person in me, there's a fourth person in me, and there's a fifth person in me. And there's countless amounts of individuals in me, in one person. Through viewing these individuals in me, I've been able to see that when an individual practices nutritional value, they're in a position to be lighter in their sleep and have the ability to flower in being aware of themselves in their sleep. Through this ability of doing this, they're in a position to be careful with what they eat and to be careful with what they drink. And through viewing individuals eating specific animals, including dogs and all types of fish, it shows me that individuals are not connecting with their spiritual self. They're too busy being attached to their earthly self without identifying their own spiritual self. Through the lack of the identification of the spiritual self, individuals come lower in the vibration frequency of who they are, and their actual existence has no connection to their celestial spiritual existence, as the material that they are eating, be it dog or all types of animals that haven't been globally humbled in their recognition as nutritional value, that shows individuals practicing these actions of eating dogs specifically, shows that they are not in the position to show their security for their behaviors in what they're doing. As on an international perception, it's got no real value of quality nutritional recognition. Through one's viewing of these people and individuals interviewing them in these countries, one's viewed that the individuals serving the food haven't been able to present to the individual that if the dog they're eating is either a male dog or a female dog. And one hasn't witnessed the reporter interviewing these individuals to ask them that if that meat that what I'm going to eat is dog, is it a female dog or a male dog? And they say that it helps give you sexual drive and give you warmth from eating the dog, but they're not respecting the teachings of Lao Tzu, the teachings of observing nature and observing that through practicing with respects to sexual longevity, you're able to preserve your chi, your energy, your semen, with respects to keeping your body healthy and keeping your body with strength, without necessarily having to eat animals to keep your body and your mind, your emotions, your body with strength. With this identification in one's practicing, one has come to the clarification through the animals we might integrate into our being, they prevent us from having clear consciousness dreams, as our emotional bodies are too attached to the physical material link body. Through recycling one's own emotions or urine of one's golden fountain, through one's seeking and through one's guided to experience it from individuals, one's come to the realization that when an individual is recycling or eating too many types of meat, it prevents them from flowering in their own spiritual evolution. That means that they will maintain themselves to a degree on earth, but will have no spiritual soul integration with who they are on a higher level. Viewing this picture, that took me a while to get it in this book, is a picture of an individual coming out of his body. One has experienced this experience and travelled out one's body and returned into one's body to be where I am now talking. One's also have had experience of going inside the earth and experiencing the spirits of death inside the earth. So through having the balance of experiencing lucid dreaming on a celestial space level, one's also had the experience of experiencing lucid dreaming or coming out of one's body on a going into the earth, into the death realm level of lucid dreaming, that not many have been able to go into the death realm and return back into their body from. And through experiencing returning back into my body from the death realm, into one's body from the death realm, through guides that guided me back, returning into one's body, the realms of death show clearly to the individuals that are heavenly and to the individuals that are on earth, to show respect for the body and for the individual that has experienced traveling in and out of his body. And for individuals on the earth, through practicing meditation, Sahaja Yoga, one's realized through being your own student, your own master, and being your own creativity, that you learn to be your own creativity and not to have to abuse or dominate a species around you for you to be creative and for you to be a cool, warm person. What once has been inspired to say what I'm saying now is through viewing animals being treated harshly in these countries and not being able to have a right for their existence as a species, and individuals acting that it's all right to do this to these animals and to eat these animals in this way, when on an international level this is not recognized as a way of how people to live. And even in the people in their own country, not everybody practices these type of acts that are non in evolutionary balance with their own ancestors from these cultures that used to travel and float in their lucid dreaming, free from the attachments of their material link on this earth, and also through lucid dreaming, awareness of sleep, combined with meditation, Sahaja Yoga, and recycling your own emotions, your own urine. Also, you need a position to recycle your own nutritions. Once you've flowered yourself properly in the awareness of what your nutritional and mineral values are. Once you've evolved yourself to that level, you have no need to really attach yourself to animals, as animals and birds, as you're witnessing, are our inspiration for being lighter beings, celestial beings, beings of a higher nature, not being attached to the material world and dominating the material world with our attached mineral nutritional behaviors. True lucid dreaming and identifying with your lighter body, you're in a position through your lighter body to travel free from the material link body to your higher level of perception of who you are. Instead of being a victim of circumstance from your collective environment that are not valuing you as a person and not valuing themselves as a person, through not valuing you as a person, impartial to having lots of money, impartial to having lots of power. If individuals have lots of money, then it's their responsibility to share the ability of becoming a lighter person, instead of dominating individuals that haven't got much money as if they are richer in this type of an experience. On the contrary, they're not richer in this type of experience, but these rich individuals are really living in this state of consciousness, which is really laying flat on your back and then getting up, going into your lovely car and going into your lovely environment, and that's it. To me, in my experience, or in one's experience, this is the 1-2 consciousness. Me, myself. 1, 2. They're missing the 3, 4, viewing the 1, 2. They're missing the 4, 5, 6, viewing the 3, 4, etc. Through practicing meditation, through practicing reciting affirmations, poems, praises, affirmations, recycling one's experience of lucid dreaming, in combination with me drinking one's own water, on occasion, on a good occasions, recycling one's own minerals, nutritions, I've been able to identify the value of having value for nature around you, and seeing that nature is the first principle that guides us of how to eat and how to drink, not for us to eat and drink nature, but to actually be guided from nature how to eat and how to drink. In this value, people are in a position to free themselves, quote, from the karma, from the action-reaction, from the actions they're acting on. And the value of an individual's communication, integration with meditation, Sahaja Yoga, improves. So once you're practicing recycling your emotions, practicing sexual longevity, meaning preserving your semen ejaculation, also preventing your semen ejaculation during sleep, clearing the false appearance, the deception from women saying that their orgasm creates secretions. In one's experience, in one's identifications, a woman orgasm has also the semen or the sperm in the orgasm of who she actually is. In her own egg cells, in her own nutritional value, the sperm and the semen of the woman is actually there. So in one's opinion, women have to have a clear perception of their own sexuality, their own orgasm, so they're in a position to preserve their orgasm, experience their perspiration, enjoy their longevity, improve with their security of themselves, with their relationship, and speak clearer, politer, as they have the value of their love generated intimacy preserved. So through preserving all that loving and all that screwing or fucking that the individuals have been doing, they're in a position to enjoy what they've been preserving without having to eat that chicken too much, or that beef, or that dog, or whatever else, or that scorpion, or that type of fish, all these type of individuals, creatures that people are eating become a minimum experience, because you're preserving the vital qualities of who you actually are when you're lovemaking, in connection to recycling your emotions too, preserving them too. So you're recycling your emotions, you're recycling your meditation, you're recycling your golden fountain, and through practicing recycling them, preserving them, you're in a position to live longer and appreciate nature around you, and in turn, or in reaction, nature shows you love, shows you appreciation, for showing nature that you appreciate nature. So once individuals show better appreciation to nature, they'll have better appreciation for themselves. And this is what seems to be the lack of appreciation from people that eat these animals, all these ingredients, but have no appreciation in reaction to what they're doing. They're only doing it to satisfy their platter. They're not giving any appreciation spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically to what they're eating. In turn, they act in reaction to the way they're behaving. They've got lots of muscle and lots of nerve, but no action. Action comes when you've calmed the muscle, you've calmed the nerve, and you go into the action of the colors of your higher expressing an individual. So they have nothing to be nervous about. Oh, don't film me. I don't want you to see this. You have to nothing to be giving it the muscle about look, I don't want you to watch this, or you know what I mean, I don't want you to move with it. There'll be none of that, you see, because that will be a see-through experience. There's nothing to me to be getting all muscly about, yeah, and getting me all nervous about, because you're in this action of your subtle experience. That's when I come to a restaurant and I say to you, can I have dog? You're going to tell me if it's a boy or a girl. You're not going to tell me, oh, you know, we sell dick here of dog, but you're not showing me pussy. As a presentation of yin and yang in the nutrition. So through one's observation of these individuals' behaviors, their own recycling emotion, their own nutrition, their own dreams, their own loving, disown these individuals as the loving quality of traveling through your higher perceptions of yourself. If you're eating dog meat or specific meats that have got no real spiritual value to your spirit, the body will be too heavy to come up to number 2. Number 3, 4. Number 1, 2 in perception, 3, 4 in second perception. The individual won't even come to 3, 4, because as soon as 3, 4 notices 1, 2 is occupied with so much nutrition, the first thing 3, 4 will want to do, either leave the body, disown it completely, or just simply land back in there and say, I've got to really alter my nutritional value. So from this recognition, individuals that are bringing up their children with these type of nutritional behaviors, they're preventing them from becoming higher qualified, spiritual, mentally secure individuals, as their dreams will have no value to what they're eating and what they're behaving with. And in turn, that will affect their own concentration, their own social communications, as their communication is put a boundary on it, because you can't be talking in school about eating dog as a 6, 7, 8-year-old, as a nutritional, social, yeah, I like to eat dog. It doesn't explore the whole faculty of communications all over the planet. So if a person from Korea called a person in England and told them they're eating dog on a computer, it doesn't function as a socially, internationally cool, warm, spiritual value experience. The Koreans' own people, China, all neighboring countries have got spiritual values at a very high standard. And to see the same individuals having as a standard of everyday living, eating animals in this way, fish included, all these type of animals, shows they're disrespecting their own ancestral inheritance and what's made them the country they are. And this goes to all these neighboring countries that like to, I'm tempted, oh, but I won't, oh, I could do, oh. So you have a lot of these reporters going to these countries, oh, oh, I'd love to have it, but they don't. They leave in that kind of attitude, oh, I was very close to do it, but I didn't do it, yeah? So all these type of attitudes with nutritional values are a guidance to show that people are insecure, not only with questioning these behaviors thoroughly, but also insecure with their attitude in reaction to these behaviors. And for these insecure individuals, the ones that are eating the meat and the ones that are interviewing the ones that are eating the meat and would like to maybe, I have some but not having it scenarios, leaving you with that attitude, is showing me that one had to communicate now to share a deeper presentation in one's own view of these types of behaviors and how they have no actual clarity to what these people are doing. Because if I'm gonna eat a dog because I'm hungry and it's part of one's culture, then I'm gonna say to you, here it is, it's on a plate, isn't it? It's the way we are. Just like a man will show you a cow and say it's what we're eating and make an advert about it, yeah? But these people are not in these type of presentations, and internationally it's been condemned, and people have made statements on that condemnation on it. So they're supposed to stand by what they are being told not to behave like. And this is the same principle that is has an effect in the West. Individuals in the West or in America and all these places, they overeat and what they eat, and that creates their own equality and non-equality attitude with what they're behaving with. Respects to animals in these countries have been overdone and not been addressed as part of a slow clearing from these behaviors with individuals that are eating all these types of animals with no actual humility to what they're doing on a farm basis. On an industrial level, animals are not being shown their respect from individuals in societies as a whole. Impartial to these Korean or these combined countries, Eastern countries, eating dog, the Western ones that are eating beef, eating chickens, haven't got the same type of humility on an industrial level as they might have had years ago. And that's to the consumption of individuals looking and wanting to eat chicken, wanting to eat beef on an international level. In one's opinion, people themselves have to educate themselves into what they're eating and slowly moderate their own nutritional behaviors in relation to their own emotions, in relation to their own dreams. I'm pleased that one has been in a position to share what I'm saying, as I'm aware that many animals now are being dominated. I won't say mistreated, but I will definitely say dominated from human beings, through the human beings needing them for their own gratifications, because human beings haven't been educated into their own moderate nutritional value, with their own moderate emotional value, and in relation to their own peace of mind, peace of sleep, in relation to their sexuality, to their creative sexuality, individuals relating having specific animals or insects as a nutrition to elevate their sexuality is really a false perception. The real perception of elevating your sexuality comes from the love you have for your creator and for the love you have for the individual you're making love with, and for the love you have for yourself. It doesn't really, they might enhance it for a while, specific nutritions, the sexual creative value, but they won't be the real experience of the sexual value. The real experience from the sexual value doesn't come from the nutrition or the mineral, really, from what you're consuming. The real value from your creative sexuality comes from the love you have for the person and for the love you have for your creator. So when people use specific minerals or specific nutritions to describe their better sexual value for their partner, they're really saying it might enhance the sexual experience or give it a boost, so to speak, but it doesn't really stay as a value for the longevity that love with the partner, practicing longevity, semen preservation with feminine, masculine semen, nutritional preservation, for the quality of living, for the quality of life, quality of living, quality of existence, coming from preserving your own loving self, your awareness, your educated intelligence of knowing how to preserve your semen, how to preserve your sperm, and how the woman is in a position to preserve her own semen, her own nutritional value, her own orgasm, her own sperm from lovemaking, for the woman to feel better for who she is, to feel more comfortable for who she is, because she's preserved all that loving feeling, all that loving, oh, he's gorgeous, all that. She gets to preserve that instead of giving it out between her legs. She's able to preserve it preserve the experience between her legs, and also the man preserves the experience between between the man's legs. In that way, they create a better flowering longevity from their experience. And from that experience, they're in a position to respect and be more quiet view with diplomacy, with correct discrimination, with shallow light, twilight, night, stars in that way, from what they're doing. They're in a position to respect and value their minerals and nutritions, because they're preserving their minerals and nutritions when they're fucking. So through preserving their minerals, nutritions when they're fucking, they're in a position not to have to make a big scenario about what to eat. Because, hey, baby, we preserved all that loving nutrition from yesterday, last night, didn't we? So you'd have to make a big drama of having this steak or this chicken or this fish, because you've preserved the lovemaking that you've maintained from before, giving you appreciation of all types of nutritional values around you. So you're in a position to choose clearer, better what you want to eat and what you want to drink, because you're making love to who you love to, isn't it? An individual that I've seen on these videos that shows you he fucks his woman better after he's had dog. He's not really identifying that. He's not saying he's practicing ejaculation control, that he's preserving his semen. He's saying that he fucks better. The same Oriental that I've been guided to preserve my semen with lovemaking is, as I'm seeing on camera, saying that he fucks better eating dog. So how can that be when sexuality is the integration of longevity? If it's the integration of longevity, then if I'm eating dog, I'm not gonna be fucking better, because the longevity that sexuality, intimacy shows is not apparent in what I've been eating. If I'm eating an animal that is domestically, internationally appreciated, then it shows that when I'm gonna be fucking, I'm gonna be having the emotion of an animal that didn't want me to kill it, and it's not even internationally respected as an animal to be killed. And here I am now acting like me fucking my wife is gonna be fantastic. And that is not, in one's opinion, a reality of an individual that's practicing longevity or even is aware of longevity. Because if you're aware of longevity and you've just had a dog for dinner and now you're making love to your wife and you're not ejaculating your semen, you're also not ejaculating, and also if she's had dog and she's not ejaculating her semen and sperm, then she's preserving the dog that she had. And he's preserving the dog that he had before, because he's not letting go of the experience of his minerals, nutritions from lovemaking, and she's not letting go of her minerals and nutritions from lovemaking. So they're both preserving the dog that they killed. In that way, shows me that it's not an act of practicing the ancient masters before longevity, killing a dog, because the ancient masters of before would have shown the individual, eat this vegetable, eat that vegetable, maybe have a little bit of that meat, whatever, or other meat, more easily internationally agreeable meat. In that way, you can at least have a bit more consideration to what you're preserving from lovemaking. So from this, for me, from this picture, it shows me that people have to be humble into what the masters have shown before about how to value your spirit, your mind, your emotions, and your physical body. To value them with respects to knowing them, because a lot of people might value their mind, their emotion, their physical body, but not really have a clear, knowledge of the qualities of the body. So once individuals get to know the qualities of their body, then they're in a position to keep enhancing the qualities of their body with what they eat, with what they drink, instead of deteriorating the qualities of their bodies. The deteriorating comes from individuals that eat nutritional food that has got no spiritual value from them lovemaking, preserving the lovemaking, and from them going into conscious sleeping. When you go into conscious sleeping, the body naturally has to empty out a lot of the nutrition we've been eating for the body to have space for the spirit to free from the body and to feel lighter and to feel secure that the body it's going to go into is clean for it to return to. From a clean person that eats cleanly, treats what he's eating good before they eat it. With this type of attitude, people are in a position to live better and to value their ancestors, that valued being aware of your emotions, being aware of correct nutritional mineral relation, and being educated into the value of existence that seems to me has been neglected from these cultures through their own actions, through their own nervous and giving it muscle behaviors. So these individuals are acting like they're giving us action through the action we perceive ourselves to be seeing. But really, with action comes colour. The colour from the action comes from a living nerve, a living muscle. The living nerve and muscle, through the individuals attaching themselves to their nerves and muscle, they come out of their subtle that observes the nerve, observes the muscle. Through the action of the subtle, you're in a position to see the qualities of to quiet view, to respect, to diplomacy, to discriminate, to forgive yourself, to forgive people, to realize all these qualities, to feel secure, to feel joy, to feel satisfied. They say that the stomach is only this big, so there's not much to put in there, they say. To fill up the stomach, you only have to put this much food, really. So when you identify it with that, when you're eating an animal and putting all that meat into your body just to kill an animal to get that much food, it shows the lack of education, spiritual, mental, physical, none being shared with these individuals. And through not having an education, they're in no positions to talk with what they're doing, with it being right or wrong, wrong or right. As they haven't been guided from their own ancestral inheritance, the correct way to behave on an evolutionary level. If you have one person talking about eating dog meat, or you have 6, 7, 8 people talking about eating dog meat, how come in the same video the individuals don't just show you one Buddhist monk or one priest that don't eat meat, but they're supposed to show you 100 then, 1,000 priests, nuns, or people of every day that don't eat meat or don't eat dog. Through the individuals not showing the value of these behaviors and acting very nervous or giving it all the muscle in their behaviors. No international spiritual education. Through having no international spiritual education in these behaviors, this shows the lack of love, integration with value, economically with everybody on the planet. Having the economy with respect to nature around them and with respect to their, quote, sexuality, their creative sexuality around them. A lot of people eating these dogs don't know how to fuck. So there's a man beating a dog to death or killing a dog so he can put it in his platter. He don't know how to fuck. So through this, a lot of these individuals, they don't know how to fuck. They don't know how to make love. If they knew how to make love, they wouldn't be using dog's meat as a satisfaction for who they fucking are. Because they know how to make love. So when you know how to make love, how to channel your chi, you're in a position to eat with consideration to whatever you're eating. So it shows me that the people in these countries haven't been guided of how to fuck, how to make love, how to preserve their semen. If they knew how to preserve their semen, because as it's said in the Tao, the semen returns to strengthen and nourish the brain. How can the semen return through the spine to strengthen the brain when the mouth has been eating dog meat? How can then the semen return to nourish that in the brain? We're gonna the semen's gonna have dog meat in it, and it's gonna go into the brain and nourish the brain dog meat. Suddenly you're gonna see a fucking man going woof woof everywhere. It's not going to be a reality, because if you want to return your semen in your brain to strengthen your brain, then you need to eat greens, recycle your emotions, have nutritional lighter value. Not been eating all these type of scavenger fish or, too much of any of these fish or any of these animals will not be the sufficient nutritional value for the brain to be strengthened. The brain will simply look at it and go to it, go down the toilet. And that toilet will be your own backside, as your own backside will eliminate what the brain examines and doesn't want as a nutritional value. So once the brain identifies you've recycled, say, through lovemaking, your nutritional value, if that nutritional value has got no spiritual, lighter, flowery, fragrant perception, then that nutritional will be emptied by the brain, sent right back down the spine and out your arse. So once you have the awareness of your own left sympathetic nervous system, right sympathetic nervous system, central autonomous nervous system, you'll be in a position through your subtle system to view your nerves, then nurture the nerves with the muscles with lighter nutritional value for lighter nutritional dreams, lighter nutritional recycling of your emotions with your material relations, integrating all the colors of your aura, improving the colors of your aura as much as the colors of your aura are multidimensional. They are infinite. So once you leave the nerve, getting nervous and getting too muscle, and you enter into your action of color, then you'll be in a position for being free from the ingredients of animalistic economy with behavior. One will finish on a note from the book of a picture that I've been wanting you to all to see. Humor. And it's a picture of death. It's a picture of death riding on a horse. And it's from death saying to all humanity that even death likes a horse.